I'll be playing. There's no, holding back. We lose, I'll be home chilling. So, I mean, my leg, I'm fine.
All right, remember the Rams, they will be without Jared Goff. So, Dominic, I would like to start with you here. Does Kyler Murray need to reach the postseason if he wants to be considered an elite quarterback?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we don't have any elite quarterbacks that don't go to the playoffs. And I understand that this year he's injured. Going into this game, it's going to be a tough situation, and it may not work out for him. But no one's going to go into next season saying that he's an elite quarterback if he can't get his team to the playoffs. I'm not sure what you would point to say that he was elite. And I understand that the passing stats don't fully describe how important he is to this team. He, in many ways, like Lamar Jackson, is the offense of this team. They build everything around his unique ability. So I'm not saying that he's not good or even close to great, but elite to me means something different. And you don't become an elite quarterback in my mind until you not only get to the playoffs, but you make some big plays. You have some big playoff moments. Like, those are the elite guys. Being a franchise guy is different. Being a starter is different. Being a Pro Bowler is different. Being a good quarterback is different. But elite quarterbacks, they go to the playoffs and they play well. And I'm not trying to knock Kyler Murray at all. I thought that he was going to have a better year this year than he did. And there are a lot of reasons why he hasn't kind of progressed the way we hoped he would. And a lot of people could point to Cliff Kingsbury or point to the up and down nature of that defense. But the fact of the matter is, none of that matters in the way that we judge quarterbacks. Like, either you're having the success that elite quarterbacks have, in which case we consider you elite, or you're not. And we don't call you that until you do. And this is early in his career. So maybe at some point he'll reach that level. And I think he will. I hope he will. But he's not going to get there, and no one's going to call him elite. And I doubt he would consider himself an elite quarterback until he gets to the playoffs and has those big moments that we've seen other elite quarterbacks have.
Yeah, look, Dom, he makes some great points. I think when you're talking about elite quarterbacks and when you're talking about elite, very good, good, average, below average, marginal, poor, like, I think a lot of it is very, very subjective, and it all needs to be talked about with context. And by that I mean this. Look, this game that he's going to be playing in this week, he's going up against. You want to talk about elite? He's going up against an elite defense that I don't think he's just going to necessarily light the Rams up here. I mean, Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, is as good as it gets. He's a guy who's going to get some head coach consideration simply because of the fact that he is next level as far as his ability to scheme up offenses, and he has some next level players on this defense that are going to give Kyler Murray a run for his money. And additionally, look, I say this. If Kyler Murray goes out and throws for 300-plus in this game, which I don't see happening against this Rams defense, but if he does, and he has them in a position to win, and for some reason or another, John Wolford, who is making his first career start in the NFL after being a college free agent in 2018, his first career start, with all the people that they are missing, is able to somehow muster up enough points to where they expose a Vance Joseph coach defense in Arizona and win this football game, I don't think that you can necessarily hang that on Kyler Murray and or have that detract from your overall assessment as to whether or not this guy is elite, very good, good, average, whatever it is that you want to be. Because I think we sometimes hang. It's just kind of like judging quarterbacks based off of wins and losses as well. Are wins and losses a quarterback statistic? Is that something that's fair to hang on them? Although we do it, and since the beginning of time, we have judged quarterbacks by their wins and losses, although we know that this is a team game. But it's a team game right up until the point where we start talking about quarterbacks. Then all of a sudden it's just a quarterback-driven game. And I have a problem with that sometimes when we're talking about assessing quarterbacks and where do we slot them in the on this scale of greatness. But for this game, there's no question this is a big football game for him, and that he can really elevate how people look at him and the lens through which people view him if he's able to win this football game against an elite, top-tier, top-notch defense. If they lose, and he does everything in his power, and he gives them the last time he has the football, they have the lead, and they lose this football game, I don't think you should knock him. If he goes out and he throws 3-4 interceptions, can't throw for over 200, 250 yards, isn't able to convert on third downs, is turning the football over, then of course you're going to knock him down. But I think this game has a lot of different angles, a lot of different twists and turns to it that, quite honestly, I think this Cardinals defense is the one that really is in the spotlight here. Because, again, John Wolford has never seen an NFL football field, let alone as a starter. And if you listen to some of the talk coming out of L.A., they have a lot of confidence in this kid. And I'm going, what do they know that I don't know? What do they know about this kid that I don't know? And if they come out and just light up this Cardinals defense, oh, boy. They're going to be talking about Kyler Murray.
I mean,
they're going to be talking about Cliff Kingsbury and Vance Joseph. That's who they're going to be talking about.
Yeah. I think you're right on, and we agree on a lot of these things. I think the difference is just in the subjective term of elite. And I'm with you. Like, it's not fair to hang wins and losses on quarterbacks. It's not fair to blame them for an entire team's failures, or it's not fair to give them all the credit for the team's success. We end up doing that a lot in this business. It's not fair. That doesn't mean you and I have to do that. So I agree with you. However, there is one thing that I do believe, we can have a smarter conversation. There's one thing that I do believe is true, though, and I think you would agree with me, is there is a top tier of quarterbacks in our mind. And no matter what you call them, you can give them a different name. You can call them whatever you want. Call them elite. You call them Hall of Fame. You call them world beaters. Put the team on my back, guys. I don't care what you are. But you don't become that until you start getting to the playoffs and winning in big moments in the playoffs, or winning league MVPs. Doing something like that, sustaining that type of success for an entire career. Because I would think of a guy like